Welcome. My name is Christoph. This is my workshop. And I'm building a 30-foot Maine Lobster Boat on my property in the middle of the Lower Bavarian Forest. I love working with tools and building stuff around the house and the property as a compensation to my job where I sit mostly in front of a computer. I'm generally very much interested in maritime lifestyle, marine designs, and diesel engines. I didn't know anything about boat building, so naturally I've come to the decision to build a 30-foot diesel-powered fishing vessel in the backyard of my home. After having studied several books on boat building over the last year, I made a plan for the first critical steps. Drawing the plans full size, acquiring building materials from local sources, the local lumberyard, and getting the building site prepared. So with the following videos on my channel, I will bring you up to speed on my progress, and you can all watch this lobster boat being built step by step. Let me tell you more details about the boat and its origins in a later video. I started out by ordering plans directly from the designer, in this case, Doug Hyland from New England. This is what I was looking forward to. Begin at the beginnings, start from scratch. In boat building, it is called lofting. Next, I built a platform from OSB board to do my lofting on. The tools I had to have at that stage were only a pencil, a ruler, and a compass to draw my right angles. So the lofting begins. You first lay down a grid of right angles. Therein lies the first major task: drawing lines that have perfect right angles. Any inaccuracy at this stage will mess up everything that comes after. So it is paramount to make sure you can draw lines on a big scale, say up to a length of several feet, that are perfectly plumb to each other. I found a compass will give you the best result in creating a right angle. Of course, the bigger the radius you can draw, the more accurate the result will be. The compass in my workshop is not exactly small, but for best results, I recommend building a large one. With the set of plans came also a table of offsets, which enables you to lay the shape of the boat, that is the stations, on a grid. The design of this particular boat needs lofting of 20 stations from bow to stern. The transom, which represents the tail end of the vessel, is not included in the table of offsets. It has a rake, which is an angle of 7 degrees to the vertical, and a curvature to it, which means it needs to be developed. That again means the curvature of the transom has to be flattened in order to see its true dimensions. What is given on a plan is only a view, and there is no information on the true shape and size of the transom. You can read about the subject of transom development in books like Boat Building Manual from Robert M. Stewart. Here you can see me putting in nails at coordinates the table of offsets provided. I use a lengthy, thin and flexible strip of oak or beechwood, a so-called batten, to connect the dots with a pencil line. The batten makes drawing a smooth, fair line possible. From here on out, there are no more right angles in this project. Everything has to be sighted and made into a fair curve. If you want to get deep into the theory of lofting, I recommend checking out Madison Taylor's and Murphy Griffin's YouTube channel, Neophyte Boat Rides, where they explain in great detail the theory and process of lofting. There are several methods, like for example tracing the lofted line with a pick or a nail onto a piece of underlaying plywood. Others transfer the line through and onto a clear sheet of plastic. I decided to use a technique a tailor uses making clothes. As you can see, I first traced the marking points originally from the table of offsets through and onto a very thin sheet of paper. Only this time I also make the plank deduction. After each paper mold was cut, I laid it on a sheet of 3/4 inch OSB and transferred the edge of the paper mold with crayons. The result was a crisp line which was easy to cut with a handsaw or a saber saw. Because of the shortage of building materials in the recent time and the absurd price increase of OSB, I decided to switch to solid wood for my station molds. You can see me preparing 3/4 inch boards for the stations 14 through 19. I take angles from the lofted lines, cut them on the Meiti saw, and assemble the pieces into a rough station mold. Then I transfer the points from the lofting board and connect them, as I did before, with a batten. After reinforcing the assembly with gussets where necessary, I cut close to the lofted line with a hand or saber saw. For fine tuning, I use a hand plane. Before finishing the station mold, I make sure to transfer all the important information from the lofting board, like the shear line and water lines, onto the mold. Join me next time when I show you how I built a solid platform for the finished station molds to set up, the strong back.